One. All right.
All right, here we go. Here we go, Joe, live from Abu Dhabi. Well, no. This isn't Abu Dhabi. We're gonna have to go at least for the events that took place on Saturday night. As far as UFC, it was 246, and we saw the return of Mystic Mac, the Notorious One, versus the Cowboy, and it was a very exciting night. But that night took place in the T-Mobile Arena. That's not to be confused with Abu Dhabi at all.
Not
So
at
it
all.
was a good night of fights. You ordered the fight and watched it. What did you think?
I mean, I knew I knew it was gonna happen. I didn't think Cowboy had a chance. But you never know what's gonna happen. I actually did place a bet on Cowboy just in case, just $10.
Because he would have been underdog at that point.
Yeah.
And what would your $10 have yielded?
Ooh, you know what? You speak, and I'll look that up because I don't remember.
Figure out what your $10 would have yielded if the Cowboy got a knockout in, let's say, rounds 1 or 2, which are the exact rounds we were waiting Conor to get a knockout on. And
that I don't think I could look up, but I could tell you what like straight up was.
See if you can get a win. I don't know. What did they give you? Decision, KO,
a win
TKO, submission.
A win is anything. If you pick like I know one because TJ was gonna do it. If you bet $10 or $100 for Conor to submit Cowboy, yeah, you'd win $1,000.
Yeah, you'd be rich. Yeah, he's not gonna do that anyway. What do we know about Conor? He's on a 2-fight streak if you count Mayweather and Khabib Nurmagomedov. But he took about 2.5 years off since his last loss.
Yeah,
check me on math on that one, but you don't have to.
He was plus 240, so I would have won $24.
For who?
Cerrone won.
Okay, yeah.
And then Roxanne was plus 550.
Yeah, you went to the girl fight in the undercard. We'll get to that. Don't talk about that yet because we have to do the big guys first.
All right.
And by the big guys, I mean the Notorious One. He's back. He's Conor McGregor. He's saying he's back and he's better than ever. I saw his performance. I thought he looked great. Some people didn't understand how the breakdown was on the end of that. After the 40 seconds had transpired, Saturday night at T-Mobile Arena, round 1 was Conor himself victorious, knockout, Donald Cerrone. But I see this a different way. I think that his team and his coaches knew this was a tune-up fight, and I think they were targeting Donald because not only is Mr. Cerrone a feared opponent, he has a long history. He's been with the company, has awards that you'll never even dream about getting. Even Conor was being nice and be like, give that guy a belt. But what he didn't say is that Donald Cerrone was on his second loss in a row.
Oh.
So he had 2 in a row, bing, bing. And then he's like, all right, I'll take that guy. So that makes you think just really, really quick. All right, he got his second loss. He's going to stand and strike with me. He's definitely beatable. And I have to get tuned up. Who better to fight than Donald Cerrone? Because they were throwing away around all kinds of names before it was announced that it would be Conor and Donald Cerrone. Yeah. So then when I saw that happening, I'm like, well, it's like a 2-time champion versus the gatekeeper of gatekeepers. Anything can happen. This is MMA. So let me ask you a question. You ordered the fight. You watched the fight. You had people over. The main event was 40 seconds long. Do you feel like you've been ripped off?
No. I mean, I know going in there that it could be, it can go either way, especially with a fight like that. I think Cerrone's a good fighter, but I don't think he's of that caliber. But like you said, anything could happen. But I mean, so
anything did happen to the Cowboy that night. This is how it started. Conor went over there and saw like what? He saw like an ending like Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he threw his hardest first left and he like overdid it. So like Donald Cerrone ducked so hard that his head almost touches his knees. And I'm watching this in slow-mo. I'm like, why are they both so far out of position? Like, even both of them have to be like, oh, shit. Like, I shouldn't be here.
Right.
Conor's way over his target looking down. Cerrone, if he ever wanted to pick a time to wrestle, would have been that exact time to grab his legs because he was practically around them, right? They stand up, they grapple. Conor does an amazing 3 shoulders to the face. The third or second one breaks his nose.
Oh, speaking of that, like, I've never really saw that, I don't think. In like,
we watch it in slow-mo. He goes 1, and just because I guess maybe his opponent isn't expecting, he goes 2, and boom, even a harder one on 3.
Yeah, because I was saying that while it was going on, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen someone like do that with like the short like that.
When me and you sat down, we were watching finally Oh, the man with the silver tongue. Another man with a silver tongue. Not to be confused with Mystic Mac himself. Was Chael Sonnen was
Okay.
finally going against the Spider. So they finally squared up. They're staring each other in the eyes. This is the they're ready to go. The weigh-in, right? Back when the weigh-ins used to be weigh-ins when you got weighed in that day.
Right.
And they got really close to each other. Everyone's like, what's Anderson going to do? Because the time before that, Chael was talking a lot of smack because that's what Chael does.
Right.
And then Anderson, poof, just touched him on the chin with his shoulder. And they pushed them away. And they're like, oh, God, they're going to fight here.
Yeah.
But they didn't fight at all. It was just a little, I touched you, just like that. Like, bink, there you go. Like, but Conor used it in a different way while his opponent was just trying to grapple, broke his nose doing it. Did you ever get smacked in the nose? Did you ever break your nose?
No, I've never broken a bone.
As soon as it happens, as soon as you get bopped in the nose, both your eyes kind of start like making weird fuzz, and the blood just starts flying out of your nose, and you can't blow your nose. If you do, you'll just make it worse. So maybe Donald couldn't even see that well. He throws a high kick, right? Conor throws another high kick, times it perfectly, smashes him right in the face with it, like with the part of his foot that he should. So then poor Cowboy's on like those uneven legs. He's like, where's my legs? Where are they at? And he's like, uh-oh. And as soon as Conor sees that, he's like, well, this is over. So after that kick, a lot of the highlight reels, they stop after the kick. You don't get to see the finish with the ground and pound and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. It's over then.
Right.
Because he caught him in round one. But Conor had a great night.
Yeah.
And reminded all those fans what it's like to watch winning Conor, right?
Right. Yeah.
You remember what that was like. That's a great thing.
Yeah. Well,
He's happy, we're happy.
We watched the Notorious documentary beforehand instead of the prelims. Yeah. Yeah, we watched
the original or a new one?
No, I think it was the one that you watched years ago.
The one with Jose?
Yeah.
Jose Aldo was in it? Yeah, poor Jose. Mm-hmm. He got such an English Irish like verbal battering, and he just really didn't know what it was the entire time it was happening because he doesn't speak our language.
I'll tell you what, it was really neat too to see, because you don't see her that much, but it was really cool to see like how like D like stood by him through like all of it. Like it was pretty neat.
Oh, we're talking about D Devlin?
Yeah.
His wife, the mother,
your cousin.
I don't know how D Devlin wound up with Conor McGregor. I don't know if she's related to the other Devlins. I don't know if I'm related to her. All I know is it's cool that D Devlin gave birth to, I think Conor Jr. is what they ended up naming him, right? Yeah. Conor Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conor Jr.
He will live in luxury. That's all he'll know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it now, but he's going to.
It was neat seeing that. It was neat seeing like him cut, and then like seeing, because Gary was here, so he
tell Gary I said hey.
He's been through that, like cutting and
this time we saw a very good looking Conor McGregor. You're going to ask why? I'll tell you why. He was only at 170. It wasn't a match for a belt. He went up to 170. We all know Donald Cerrone can hit that because he's taller, and he had his second 175. The first one he had was with Nate Diaz. Remember when Nate Diaz accidentally or not accidentally, I shouldn't say that, who basically was able to choke Conor out when everyone thought he was invincible.
Right.
Then they did a part two,
right,
and he went back down to 155, and he dragged Nate down to 155 with him. So by the time he was like, king of 155 after beating, I think, Eddie Alvarez, he had taken out Jose's entire line. He came for the 155ers, the deepest division in the entire, that's a very deep division. There's ones above and below it, and they're getting stacked because of the people that jump on and off that.
Right.
And now what is he going to do next? I thought it would be really cool if he stood at welterweight, because he just looked really good right there against another very dangerous welterweight. What if he ran through that division? How cool would that be? Three belts?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, how old is he now?
He's definitely still in his 30s. Let me look him up. I never looked at his age. Why is that? Mr. McGregor. It's not saying anything about him other than he won the other night. Good for you. He is 31. Cha-ching.
That's it?
That's it. 5'9".
I thought he was older.
Nope. Well, the person you bet on was Roxanne, and she's a little bit older because she's been around for a long time, but she was against Maycee Barber, who was 21, 2-1. What were you doing at 21? Were you fighting in the octagon?
No, definitely not. I was in college.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of set you up for that one, didn't I?
Yeah, I was in college.
All right. So you thought the most recent, the Notorious One versus the Cowboy Mr. McGregor versus Mr. Cerrone was a good fight for you, and you were okay with paying the price because you accept as a mixed martial arts fan that they're not going to go all 5 rounds, and it won't be decided in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, you know what you get when you pay for one of these things.
I think getting that message across to boxing fans is almost impossible.
It also helps that you have the homies over to all spread the price out.
Yeah, and there's more than one fight. You get a prelim card, main card. You got a bunch of fights.
Right.
Even though there was a fight canceled, you still had a bunch to watch.
Yeah, we used YouTube TV for the 8 o'clock stuff.
Okay, that was probably a good thing to use because while I was texting you, I was letting you know that it was supposed to be broadcast at ESPN, and a Duke basketball game went long, so they had to switch it. So they scrambled and they put it on ESPN News.
Oh, okay.
So whenever you watched it, you just watched something probably uninterrupted.
Yep.
Did you watch the Holm fight before that?
Mm-hmm.
With the bantamweight against Raquel Pennington? This is actually a part 2 for these two ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it went the distance. Was that 3 rounds? It should have been. Yeah, because it's coming.
Yep.
What'd you think?
I'm not a fan of Holm. I think she's a you know, I'm not taking anything away from her, but I just think that her status that she got from the Rousey thing was a kind of a fluke, kind of a, you know.
Oh no, she absolutely knocked out Ronda Rousey for sure with a high kick.
Right, I'm not saying she didn't, but I'm just saying.
She's a veteran kickboxer. She was doing that stuff in her sleep.
Yeah, but she got beat up she got beat up the rest of the time. Like
depends on who she's against, you know.
Every fight after that. How many losses does she have? I thought at one point they were going to throw her out.
No, Holly Holm is a staple. 1, she's the preacher's daughter. 2, she can fight. 3, she does have the background in kickboxing, so she can always hold her own and even pull off what a lot of people don't seem to like is a decision win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to her account right now.
I mean, I could be wrong. Every time I watch her, I swear to God, she loses.
Well, she's so tall. I mean, for her weight class, well, I mean, she's not too tall. She's 5'8", so she does pull off because she's very muscular. The 135 weight class, which she'll fight at, and the 145 one, which is super shallow. So every match she gets in 145, she's going to take because she's like the only one there besides Amanda Nunes, obviously.
Right.
I'm taking a look at her career, trying to get to it. Did you like any other fights? Did anything else jump out at you?
No, nothing. I mean, I was, hanging out with everybody, people who came in from out of town. So I was just hanging out with people and enjoying the company. So I was like,
let's see, professional mixed martial arts record. She's got 13 wins, 5 losses. And the 5 losses now we'll see are against Amanda Nunes, which makes sense because she's the boss. She lost against Chris Cyborg, which makes sense. That's when they fought at 145, like I told you about.
Yeah, I guess she is having some hard fights.
The one who she fought at 145 because there was no one there. Right. Valentina Shevchenko, she's a champ right now. And Miesha Tate before she quit. So she fought and lost against A-listers, basically.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, she has some losses, but I can't really, penalize her for that. She's fighting, top dogs. She's an animal. Sometimes I check out whatever her workouts are supposed to be on an IG, and she always has insane things going on, stuff that you and I can't do if we tried.
But like I said, I'm not as into the UFC as I used to be, just because of how saturated it is, and keeping up with things like that. But
then let me propose something for you. Forget about not numbered cards. Forget about ESPN cards. Forget about Fight Night cards. Just focused on only the numbered cards. That's what you want. Right. Those are all the names you know anyway. The next one's supposed to be a guy called John Bones Jones. You remember him?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, well, he'll be on the next one fighting.
And that's a thing with me, and I mean it's my own thing, but I always feel that I just don't appreciate it until I'm not super deep in the MMA, but I love it. I love watching it. I always watch it, but I just when I don't know somebody, it just takes me out of it. And I think that's it, because when Conor was on his come up, I think I could have probably watched him, but because I didn't know who he was, I probably just missed some good beginning fights, because just I'm always with people, so I'm always talking, and if it's not one of the main things, or like I said, I don't know who the person is, I'm not giving it my full attention, and then all of a sudden it's he has 2 or 3 fights under his belt and he's fighting for the championship, and now I know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my solution for you is very easy. One, you take out the lengthy time and you watch the day of, which I do. I watch a countdown, UFC countdowns. They're online now too. You don't have to watch them like on TV when they air.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't want to say you, oh my God, the prelims are starting. I don't have the time. What am I going to do? You're watching embedded. So like embeddeds are starting to take over the place of the countdowns. So back when it was ESPN, no, not ESPN, back when it was UFC doing their thing, and then Fox jumped on board,
right?
You had countdowns to all numbered cards, and that will get you ready for everyone on the card pretty much, or all the main fights. Okay. But now the embedded, since they're with that new company that bought them like 3 or 4 years ago,
right?
WMEING, things are starting to change and shift. So like they used to have the tough drama, now it's called Dana's White looking for a fight, Tuesday night contender, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? They're like they're just taking what they were doing and they're just making it their stuff. In fact, one of the guys from this company, did you ever watch Entourage? I didn't really watch it, but my buddies would watch it and they'd be in the same room. So I look back and there's always a guy called Ari. He's always like freaking out and screaming. The guy Ari's based on in real life is in this company that bought UFC.
Oh, okay.
Real life Ari works there.
Real life Ari Gold.
Yeah. Check that out. You'd like the little tidbit.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. I had no idea.
Oh yeah. They bought it for $4 billion. So the Fertitta brothers swooped in there and bought it out the Gracies for basement prices, sold it for $4 billion, and they're like, "See ya. Now we're gonna try Zuffa boxing," which I don't know if that's ever gonna work or not.
Oh wow.
So
I actually never even knew what it looked like, but one of the brothers was on that Notorious.
Yeah, the Zuffa brothers.
Fertitta, one of the Fertitta guys.
Fertitta or Lorenzo, and that's it. They're like they always hang around Dana. Sometimes you see them with Dana.
Right.
And they talked to Conor a lot. They loved him.
Yeah, it was when they came over to say that Jose hurt himself.
Okay.
And I loved it though, because they're like in his house and he walks, like wakes up and he's like, "Oh, this can't be good." Like Dana White and whoever Fertitta's in my home, you know?
Yeah. An entertaining fighter, Conor McGregor is. However well he does in the future, that's all up to him. And I think that's going to be okay. So let's break this down really fast, and then we'll be done. Whether I get to explain to people how, no, I'll skip that. You watched Roxanne Modafferi versus Maycee Barber. Mm-hmm. That was an awesome fight. I watched the whole thing. There's a meme going on right now that I'm going to kill my dogs. I don't know why they're barking. They shouldn't be. There's a meme going on that the doctor came out to check Maycee Barber's leg, and like he just like picked it up and moved around a little bit, and he gave her a thumbs up. So there is I forget the name of the website. I'll find it for you. They're basically saying every other knee doctor in the world's better than that guy.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. As soon as they saw that, they screenshotted it and started putting it places. I'm like, oh, that's funny. There's memes and things I didn't know popping up. I put up a part in my story, and it was just about how Alexa Grasso was supposed to fight or face Claudia Gadelha, and they couldn't because Alexa Grasso came in 5.5 pounds over. So you and I are used to, hey, you're over your weight, you can still have the fight, but 20% of your purse goes to your opponent.
Right.
Well, the Nevada Commission's like, hey, you're allowed to be up to I think it was like 5 pounds over your fight, and you're 5.5.
5.5.
If you both start hydrating at the same time, it's not fair because you're 5.5 pounds over your competitor. Claudia Gadelha being a beast is like, I don't care, I want to fight anyway. I just made 115. F you. And then she's just like, sorry. So then
what happens with the purse then?
Nothing. The fight was canceled.
So no one gets money.
Cancel the fight. So no one gets anything. So they'll find another opponent for Claudia Gadelha, who was pissed. She made her weight. She was ready to fight. She's there, and then they're announcing your fight's canceled. So then she makes an issue publicly. I think I saw it on Instagram that she's pissed. And then Alexa Grasso makes one. Listen, everybody, and it's in Spanish because she's Mexican. She says, "Listen, everyone, I'm 26 now. I'm not able to hit 115 whenever I want to. So I'm sorry to Claudia Gadelha. I'm sorry for the UFC, and I guess I'm sorry to my fans. I'm going to move up a weight class. You can see me at 125 from now on." I'm like, that's it. So that fight will never actually happen unless I guess Claudia Gadelha decides to go up too. So,
right. Unplanned attack
wasn't there.
Unplanned attack. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Cool. What was I gonna say?
That's all I have about UFC. We'll tie it off with the next fight for Conor McGregor. I think Dana White said it's going to be Khabib Nurmagomedov. Other people want to see George Masvidal, but that doesn't make any sense.
Do you think
George Masvidal is like a step down?
Do you think he's going to keep going?
Yeah, he says he's going to fight 3 times this year.
I heard they said he's going to fight before the summer. It's just that because Conor doesn't have to fight anymore if he doesn't want to, right?
What?
He's like set for life, right?
He was set for
Especially
life after he lost to Mayweather.
especially after his whiskey took off.
I think it's doing well. Whether it's doing well, that's neither here nor there. Like he sat down in an interview and he's trying to like calculate the number he'd make from this fight. He goes 80 million, and I'm like, maybe with the right type of advertisements. Again, right before I watched this pay per view event, which is $85, he's in a Reebok commercial. He jumps on the floor. He turns into like a cartoon
Right.
kind of action figure. He beats up other action figures. So like he'll make more money with him and Reebok than he's going to make with UFC anyway, unless that's all part of the same deal. He wants to make the auxiliary money with his own whiskey and all other deals. He probably makes a very nice penny depending on how well they did per contract per fight. Because now he's not like you're going to sign a contract with me and I'm going to fight.
Well, you saw it all over the ring, right?
What's that?
The whole ring was sponsored by his whiskey.
Oh, I wasn't really watching the ring at all. Again,
the whole thing, man.
Was in Portuguese.
Remember how it used to be like Mickey's or whatever it was all over the place? Now it's Conor's unplanned attack says he wants to fight Floyd again.
Who does?
Conor.
He said he would be interested in fighting Floyd again or doing something with Floyd's productions. He says he's actually setting his sights on Pacquiao now.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. He
wants
to go after Manny Pacquiao. But then he says he's still fighting this year 3 times. So he fought once before, he'll fight 2 more.
Yeah.
And if Dana's saying you can have Khabib next, he'll probably do it. Will he be ready for him? I don't know. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Donald Cerrone are 2 way different fighters. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Right.
You know,
that one thing with his whiskey, I never had it. I never had it, but I remember there was a story with Sammy Hagar and Eddie Trunk, who's a very known. He's been doing it since the 80s, radio host and DJ and all that. He was on Sammy Hagar's private jet, and he said it was the first time, and he looked around and he's like, wow, Van Halen like really did good for you, huh, Sammy? He's like, this ain't Van Halen money. He goes, this is Cabo Wabo money. His tequila, you know?
Oh, Cabo Wabo. Okay,
so cool. Sammy Hagar like made like his fortune through Cabo Wabo, not even like through Van Halen and Sammy Hagar.
Well, listen, it wasn't long after he had attained his fame with the UFC and Fertitta Brothers that Conor was already fishing around to make himself a label with something. And then when he found his proper 12, it was his calling, his Irish whiskey. So
right.
I guess for him, it's a match made in heaven, but not so much because everything comes with a weird unseen cost. Like months later, there's some old guy approaches him in a bar, probably over in Ireland or Europe, and like tells him his whiskey's crap and it's only good for being poured down the drains. And Conor hits him, and it's on film.
Right. I saw that, man. Like, I think Conor has an underlying something else problem, like cocaine.
Listen, I don't know. They used to always throw the cocaine allegations at John Bones Jones. You know what I mean?
It's not that nice as whiskey.
I don't know what's going on there at either camp, but they just have to keep themselves on the short and narrow. You know what I mean?
Like, well, I was asking my
television. You know what I mean?
I was asking my buddy because I was like, you think he's like into stuff, or is it just like TMZ nonsense where like it shows him like leaving some like crack house to get into like his black car and drive away, you know? And they were like, oh, Conor McGregor's buying drugs.
One of his rare like Rolls Royce Phantoms or something like that.
Yeah, there's videos of him like leaving some like crack house.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing with himself, but I saw him weighing at 170 and he probably didn't have to cut much. He looked fantastic. Then he walks out and finishes Donald Cerrone in 40 seconds. People were sending me texts like, did Donald Cerrone throw that fight? I'm like, absolutely not. But to the untrained eye, you can't see him smash him with his elbow. You can't see him land the kick. You can't see him like you got to be. Listen, I've been watching this a long time. You've been watching it long enough too. So he looked great at 170. That's why I want him to stay there. Fantastic. Yeah, the guys will be bigger, but Donald was not that much bigger than him, and he didn't have a problem there. Poor Donald Cerrone, three fight losing streak. In the old days, they'd fire you during three if you hit 3. They're not going to get rid of Donald Cerrone. He's going nowhere.
Right. Well, I mean, he takes his,
he's another one guy that fights A-listers.
Yeah. Unplanned Attack says, I live in Scotland. We drink whiskey. His is like tap water.
Yeah. Everyone is saying the same thing, and I thought it was just like publicity or some people having a go at him. But no, they're like, listen, from what I understand, and don't quote me on this because I don't know. I'm just going by what I'm told. real good whiskey is supposed to be savored, saved, and like talked about and like tested, tried, shared. And I guess all the other stuff is supposed to be like crap just for drinking to get drunk. But
Right.
they're also saying that like that proper 12 is like maybe not even as good as that. And I'm like, I don't know. I never had it.
I've
know
never.
the difference. How would you know
I
what?
don't.
Ask our buddy there in chat. What's better than proper 12? He'll tell us.
He could hear
Probably
you.
already knows. He's probably already typing it.
What was I gonna say? I'm a vodka drinker, so
you can't get it locally.
no, you can.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can get it. I've never tried it. I will one day. I'll try it.
When you walk past and it's on the shelf, do you hear Connor yelling things at you? Like, what's that?
No, I hear him go, buy this fucking whiskey.
What the fuck are you doing? Not buying my whiskey. Right?
Put the fucking Svedka back.
Turn around. Put that on the bottle. It is slightly harassing. It only has to be motion detected, right?
Yeah.
But watch both of his promos. They don't let him talk with the thick accent. They make him talk with a normal one. It sounds weird or a little off. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Give that a shot when you have time. What else do you want to talk about? We're pretty much done with all things MMA or UFC.
Jameson's is the best whiskey. I like Jameson's a lot. Jameson's is a good whiskey.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I could have thought of that, but I wanted somebody more authentic to do the thing for me.
I mean, it's not as expensive, I don't think. But I'm a big fan of Knob Creek. I like Knob Creek a lot.
Okay, fair enough. I'm still prepping to do an Oscar cast. The Oscars aren't on until February 9th, so I have some time. I'm smashing through all the Oscar-nominated movies as fast as I possibly can. Tonight, although it's not on the list, I'm doing Dark Water with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And the night before or previous has been Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love that movie.
Along with Jojo Rabbit. And Jojo Rabbit, it wasn't even on my radar. Right. I saw a trailer. I watched the whole thing and looked at my wife. And when I went, this might have been one of the best movies I've seen this year. And I didn't even know it was nominated or it was a thing.
Right.
And it would have been terrible if I missed that movie.
What is Jojo Rabbit?
It's, I'll break it down. So you follow the life of a 10-year-old boy, German, that is also a nationalist when like World War II is happening. In fact, it's like the last couple of weeks of World War II, and the Russians and the English, for lack of a better explanation, are closing in on Berlin, and they're going to waylay the place. So he, who has an imaginary friend, and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler.
Right. I saw
he has to deal with his 10-year-old boy ideals, what he's being told, his imaginary friend, and the world around him, while the world's pretty much ending, and all the Germans that are left are being told everything's fine. We're going to win the war. There's nothing wrong. It's over.
Wow.
Like, watch it. Just watch it.
I watched The Lighthouse. I told you that yesterday.
Yeah, that was nominated for one award, but it didn't get like a lot of these, like Jojo Rabbit, like they're nominated for multiple. So I'm trying to hit all the main ones.
Yeah,
I think everyone with Marriage Story. I'm gonna leave that one for you too.
Did you watch the Vavitch?
Like, yeah, I saw the original. The tie-ins to The Lighthouse.
Well, it's the same guy, Robert Eggers.
Oh, that's how they did that.
Yeah, it's his movie. I'm just telling you out there. I feel that Robert Pattinson. I told you this last night in text. I feel Robert Pattinson got just, you know, they typecast him or whatever into that Twilight man, and I think that's bullshit. I think he's got chops, and I'm actually, after watching that, I'm actually okay with him being Batman. Am I right? I'll watch it.
I don't know if I could do him as Batman or anything because of the whole Twilight fiasco. But
what did you think when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker and he was doing rom-coms in Brokeback Mountain?
I didn't know what to think what his Joker was going to be like. I was more excited. At that time, I was kind of excited for Mark Hamill's Joker, who was really ripping it up animated-wise. Right. A lot of people don't watch that stuff. I was more interested to see what Bane was going to do because he was supposed to replace the Joker, I guess. Right. After Heath Ledger's unfortunate demise. Right. But listen, if your guy Pattinson here is trying to make like his breakthrough, he's picking the wrong year to do it because you have Matt Damon and Christian Bale and Ford versus Ferrari. I've seen most of it. I have to finish it. You have The Irishman, which is the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Lies.
No lies. It's just long. And you're right. I'm gonna have to side with you on this one. the CG de-aging is a thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was distracting. Jojo Rabbit, that's a sleeper hit right there. Joker, you got to watch that one. You just spoke about Jokers. Did you see Joker?
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Joker, I think is I think it's a modern day version of Taxi Driver.
Okay.
What I mean about that is that it's, to me,
He's only going to be pushed so far before he snaps.
Yeah, some people said they didn't see it that way. I see it that I like it so much because, and I think the parallel with Taxi Driver is that no matter what these two characters did, no matter how much good they did, they might have had it in them to be crazy or whatever, but they did try to make their way in the world as good people, and no matter what they did, the world beat them down until they snapped.
So if it's a case of nature versus nurture, nature, their predisposition, the way they are genetically, the Joker has a little bit of a crazy side, and it's supposed to actually. I'm not going to say it's crazy like the Joker, ha ha ha. It's more like you get to watch the unravelings of someone falling farther into mental depression and all the different anxieties and unfortunate, unpleasant things that happen. And then you go to nurture, and the environment around him is just kind of beating him back at every turn, and you kind of see him become the Joker. But to me, it wasn't a happy film. I thought it was a sad film. I thought that maybe he was a man left to his own like devices, and a very run down kind of like Gotham at that time is like a pyramid. All the rich are on top and all the poor are way down on the bottom. There's a lot of them.
What movie are you looking forward to most this year? Unplanned Attack says.
Oh, well, I just saw Little Women because I had to. And yes, I'm still a man after watching it. I just had to change the way I thought. The 1917, I was really looking forward to seeing, because you don't get to see World War I and trench warfare a whole lot. And if this guy does this well, which I seen it and I liked the film, I went back to the theater on a night where they were airing it on purpose, just so I can see it and get the theater experience.
Right.
Just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night. It was okay. Oh, I got to see Parasite. There's this film that's South Korean, and it's supposed to be amazing. And I completely didn't know it was around. Much like JoJo. JoJo was really funny. 1917, recommend that to anyone. This Parasite looks good, but I can't recommend it yet. And if you haven't seen Joker, definitely check it out for Joaquin Phoenix's like performance alone. That's all good, like sound. Ford versus Ferrari, solid story. It's a good year. That's why I kind of like that they're doing over 5 movies. I think this year they're doing 7 total.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I've seen Joker, great movie. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm looking forward to The Quiet Place Part 2. That should be known. I'm actually looking forward to, which is funny, I'm looking forward to the next Saw, because I skipped all like the middle ones. I think I stopped at 3, and I think they went to like 7 or something. And I watched the latest one because it actually got really good reviews, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, cool. Wait, are you talking about Saw that's going to be coming out?
Yeah, there's another one, of course.
Oh, I'm supposed to warn everyone. You're gonna see some stuff coming up in the Grammys, and coming up in the maybe Oscars, that are going to be old, only because they had a time frame of when things were supposed to qualify from either 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020. So if you see some things and you're like, I didn't know that movie was considered this year, was supposed to be last year, it's all about cutoff dates. That's the only new information I figured out, other than
Birds of Prey could be good. I'm not into that. I thought Suicide Squad was so crap.
Well, I think you're talking about movies that are going to come out, and I was
yeah, we are.
Okay, I'll do that. Suicide Squad. Wow, that was a dumpster fire right there. How did it all go so wrong so quickly?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I am looking forward to the next installment of Halloween, even though I did think that the rebooted Halloween, I thought, while good, I enjoyed it. I fully enjoyed it. I don't say anything bad. I just do think it was just another Michael Myers movie. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, I don't think it pushed any envelopes or anything.
You're saying that you like the Rob Zombie editions because he made a 1 and 2 also, right?
2 sucked. I hated 2.
The Rob Zombie 2, correct?
Yeah, once he was walking around with that white pony and seeing, why is there a fucking horse in this movie? Like,
he went ahead and did more imagery in the stuff that he put out after, which no one really wanted to watch.
Rob Zombie's been on a downward slope, man.
I mean that's all about it. Like, I'd have to say that's your perspective, and I also have to say it's the perspective of the American populace, because The last movie I went to watch that he made was called 31, and I was allowed to watch it on a service called Tubi for free. And I'm like, oh, if I can see it on Tubi for free, then well, maybe it didn't do as well as I thought it was
Yeah, but
supposed to do.
I'm the guy that roots for him because
I'm still rooting for him.
Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses are two of my favorite movies. So then he came out with a third installment
right after this 31. So the 31 wasn't doing well.
and it's
He
awful.
does the next installment. It does very well, but one of the actors dies, unfortunately. Also,
Sid Haig died. Yeah,
that stings.
Captain Spaulding.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? That's too bad. I hope he does well. Wait, now you're talking about a Halloween revival.
Yeah, there was they made Halloween, and now Halloween Kills is coming out this year.
Now, is this part of the original or the Rob Zombie ones? They seem to be separate.
No, the Rob Zombie ones are done. So when they rebooted it last year, or 2018, I think, when they rebooted it again, they took away everything except the first movie.
Okay.
So the first movie happened, nothing else ever happened. So that's where we're at now, huh?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I'm on board. I watched all of them anyway.
Did you watch the last one, the reboot?
Which one was this one?
It was just Halloween, I think, right?
Was Jamie Lee Curtis allowed to be in it?
Yeah, she was in it.
I lose track sometimes because I watch so many.
Yeah,
it's the one where they ended it. They wanted to end it.
Yeah, and that they took it away is like I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do because.
Well, did you watch the last one?
Yeah.
What was it named?
I think it was
just Halloween. You're right.
Yeah.
2018. I got it. Yeah, I saw the ending. Can I spoil it with you since you've seen it probably too?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, what do you guys think of the film It Follows? It Follows is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Who said that?
G-Tasks 0 in chat.
G-Tasks 0, you're one of my new favorite people that I've just met tonight.
Me and Nasim here have had so many drunken conversations about It Follows.
It was really good. It was really good. Like we have to round off the year, and let's be serious. We're rounding off the decade. Forget about the year. This is decade talk. Yeah. Witch with the 2 V's. It Follows, no problem. Hereditary, whatever.
Evil Dead remake for me.
Evil Dead remake for me. Although it was like a gore fest. Oh my god! I saw that in theaters. So I was like, I was ready to get hit with stuff. What am I supposed to wear? Like a raincoat? Where's my umbrella? Jeez.
Yeah.
Those are some of the easy favorites of the
year. But yeah, It Follows was one of our most. How we talked about it so much.
We did our own podcast. You remember in like season 1, we just talked about it only.
Happy Death Day. I love that. That's a cool movie. What was that Korean movie you were talking about? Need to add that to my list.
Parasite. I think it's free on Hulu if you have the service. If not, you could probably watch it as a screener. It's everywhere since it's supposed to be the South Korean movie that's getting nominated by a director. Like it might be like his second film, but don't quote me. I didn't look. I didn't get to see anything about this one yet. I just know that it exists. I know it's South Korean, and I know I got to see it.
Yeah. Love horror films. I'm a horror movie
G-Taz. Right in line for Parasite. Absolutely.
I'm a horror movie buff, so that's all I really watch. I am gonna start The Outsider, by the way, the HBO show. I heard it's the best thing that Stephen King's best Stephen King adaptation like ever.
Well, is this on Homebox? You said.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it. I really don't know what.
Jason Bateman's in it.
How long is it? How many parts? How many episodes?
We're 3 episodes in. It's coming out weekly.
Oh, okay. All right. I see.
It's a series.
All right, cool. I'll look it up. Definitely.
Yeah. So we could do an upcoming like horror movie like cast or something.
Let's do that. That sounds good.
I have to compile a list and because I have things like I have to sit back and think because I'm not as mainstream. Like I like mainstream stuff, but I'm not super like Terrifier Part 2 is coming out. That's gonna be huge. I love Terrifier Part 1. And there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that's on Shudder exclusives that I gotta watch.
Hold on 1 second. I just figured out the answer to the question I asked you like a week ago, and you said, "Hey, that's kind of a weird thing." I'm like, "What is the worst fictitious name you've ever heard for a main character? Not best, worst." And I have it right here. It was Transformers: Age of Extinction from 2014. They just introduced Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's character was named Cade Yeager.
Oh, Jesus. Cade Yeager.
Cade Yeager.
The only Cade I know is in Destiny 2.
Yeah, whatever. This is I can't.
What do you guys think of The Babysitter? Was that the one where I think I saw that. It's kind of like a horror comedy, right?
Which one?
The
Transformers
baby,
or
no,
horror?
The Babysitter.
Not very funny.
I definitely saw The Babysitter without a doubt.
What's that?
It's a movie that came out.
Oh, no, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. A good movie that's kind of in the same vein is Better Watch Out. It's a Christmas movie. It's on Shudder. It's really cool. I think if you enjoy The Babysitter, I think you'll enjoy that.
What about Krampus?
Krampus is all right. I was really pumped for that, but it was all right.
I like the editing, the sound editing in particular, like all the chains and stuff like that. They really went over the top. Whoever was in with the sound mixing, the sound editing in Krampus, if you have to watch Krampus again, pay attention to the sound mixing and editing. It's like top notch. And I never thought that would happen while I was watching Krampus.
I watched Better Watch Out.
How was that?
That's the one I told him. It's awesome. I love that movie.
Oh, okay.
I just had it in my head. Oh, I watched Ready or Not is awesome, dude. That's one of my favorites from last year. I like that. That was brutal though. I was like, there was, well, not brutal, but there's some parts that I'm like, God damn, they're really like banging this chick up. Like this, like they're really hurting this girl. She's getting like roughed up in the movie.
I saw one like that. Hold on, let me pitch in my 2 cents while you guys are doing your thing. The one I saw was Don't Speak. Make sure it's the right one. No, that's not.
Just Don't Speak, the one with the blind guy.
The blind guy, but that's not the name of it. What's it called? Can you remember anyone in the movie? Because I can't.
Jumanji Next Level. Is that any good?
Oh,
we did a whole podcast on it.
Yes, it is good. Go see that. You'll probably laugh. I didn't see it yet, but I'm going to see it. And yes, I did see the first one. And people wouldn't believe that I did, but I did. I watched it after half an hour of not seeing what was happening. So I just started a half an hour in, and the first one was good. It was. Welcome to the Jungle was good. Best
horror Christmas movie is Black Christmas, which I watched for the first time from the 70s.
Wait, that was advertised. Is that a remake?
Not that one. The one from the 70s. It scared the crap out of me, and I watch every horror movie. I thought the first one would be bad, but was funny. Yeah, I'm hearing good things about Jumanji. My buddy over here says it's awesome.
Dude, it's gonna be a laugh fest. You're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm telling you, that's the formula. The magic formula is those 4 people: The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
Is that her name? Did I say it right? I usually just say Amy Pond from Doctor Who. Big Whovian fan over here. Not the new stuff, the old stuff. And by the old stuff, I mean anything but the new stuff with the girl doctor. Jodie Whittaker's not a good doctor. If anyone knows what that means, you'll get it. Don't Breathe. It's called Don't Breathe. It was 2016.
Don't Breathe. Yeah, that was good.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
That's another one where like, wow, these people are really getting beaten up by this blind guy who must be ex-military or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, you think she can get away, and it's in Detroit. Detroit's so dilapidated that you could just run for miles and not run into any living people.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm probably gonna hit the hay here.
I'm good too.
Yeah, we'll be everyone. If you're not following, please hit that follow button. We appreciate it. So when we go live, we do this a couple times a week. I watch a lot of Dead Meat, the YouTuber who commentates Italia's Up the Kills. I heard about that. The best YouTuber for horror that I have, it's mostly just endings explained, is Found Flicks. That guy's incredible. Like as soon as I was done watching The Lighthouse last night, I turned his ending explained on. And it was really good.
Cool.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna take off, but yeah, if you are not following, please do, because we do this a lot.
Please do. Come on. Get this going.
And all of the other stuff will be on YouTube if you want to rewatch or listen. No matter how good or bad the movie is, people like Robin Williams. People still like Robin Williams' performance in the movie.
Oh, and Jumanji? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I think people love that movie, and we made the distinction that the new one, Welcome to the Jungle, has nothing to do with that Robin Williams film. They just start over again. So that's the reboot starting point. Welcome to the Jungle, the next level.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Robin Williams, hilarious guy. Well, I'm here. Shout out to oh no, that's good enough.
If you guys want to follow anywhere from me, seftimorlive.com is the home base where we put up all this stuff, all these podcasts, articles, all that. Streaming obviously is mixer.com. Although I do stream to everything, especially when we're doing the podcast. Nasim, anything you want to shill?
No, I'll be back to talk about my in-depth analysis for the Academy Awards. It's the Hollywood Awards. The Academy Awards will be on February 9th, and we will be prepared for this, except for you're going to take care of Lifehouse for me, and you're also going to watch Marriage Story for me, because I don't think I can do that.
I can't do that.
Oh, come on. You're my ace in the hole, my golden goose.
I watched the main scene of that on YouTube, and I saw enough.
Good enough. You know what? You watched the whole thing. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're a good friend.
All right, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for coming out.